developing in Fayetteville. Police say they're looking for a suspect after a stabbing last night.
Yeah, they responded just after 7:30 to a reported disturbance near East Huntsville Road and South Sherman Avenue. The victim was transported to the hospital, but police say their injuries are non-life-threatening. Police say it appears to be a dispute between acquaintances, but not a domestic dispute. We are working to learn more, and we'll bring you any updates here on 5 News this morning.
Well, a Benton County arrest raising concerns about how AI can be used to manipulate images online, especially involving children. Authorities say a man was arrested in Benton County, Carlos Frere, and accused of using artificial intelligence to manipulate photos, turning them into sexually explicit images, including images of minors. Prosecutors say cases like this highlight how easily the technology can be misused and the impact it has on victims.
It's bad actors, though, who are using these tools to create something evil from it, unfortunately, or to create embarrassment, pain, emotional difficulty for these parties who did not intend any of this to happen.
Well, he says that's why it's critical for parents to understand the risk, talk with their kids about what they share online, and monitor what they are posting. Well, this week marks 40 years since the Chernobyl disaster in Ukraine.
In 1986, it was a nuclear catastrophe at a Soviet-era power plant, killing at least 32 people. Thousands in Ukraine were forced to evacuate their homes, and hundreds of square miles were destroyed. 4 decades later, the disaster still impacts the public perception of nuclear energy. 5 News reporter Claire Eberbach joins us now with a look at how nuclear power has evolved. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Joe. Well, the question today is, how do we prevent tragedies like this one from happening again? We have plants all over the country, and even one down the road in Russellville. Photojournalist Luke Patrick and I spoke with an expert about where nuclear energy stands today.
When I was 14, I achieved nuclear fusion, which is, of course, the power that powers our sun and all the stars in the universe.
Taylor Wilson, an Arkansas native, has spent years working in nuclear science and energy. Energy, he says, is the foundation to modern life.
Energy really is the currency of civilization. Whatever you do as a civilization, whether it's manufacturing or, all these things, it just requires energy.
That demand continues to grow here in Arkansas and across the world.
We're going to need a lot more energy. And that, I think, has brought people back to the table to say, what can we use that, might, really be able to be built quickly and competitively and also, sustainably.
Today, power plants like Nuclear One in Russellville use a process that's been around for decades, nuclear fission. But even with new advancements,
you can make them smaller, you can build them in a factory, you can use different coolants that avoid some of the accident kind of scenarios that light water reactors have, that make more efficient use of their fuel, that have less radioactive waste.
Still, public concern remains.
People, don't, and certainly at the time and even today, don't feel like they have a good grasp of what nuclear energy is, or what a nuclear reactor does, how it works. And so I think for a lot of people, that kind of plays into that fear of the unknown.
But according to Wilson, those events led to major improvements.
Collected all these lessons learned and made a safer nuclear power industry.
Crediting 40 years of evolving technology for the lessons learned and to come as the world's need for energy continues to grow. Covering news where you live, Claire Eberbach, 5 News.
Well, President Trump continues to insist Iran is eager for a deal.
Yeah, this is CBS News reports that the cost of the conflict has climbed to nearly $50 billion, higher than earlier estimates. The debate comes also as Congress and the administration clash over war authority and whether legal deadlines still apply. The Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, testifying on Capitol Hill this week, claimed the deadline didn't apply.
We are in a ceasefire right now, which our understanding means the 60-day clock pauses or stops.
I do not believe the statute would support that.
The war is also delivering a blow to the world economy. Crude oil topping $126 a barrel this week, as U.S. gas has now hit $4.30 per gallon on average nationwide. The president insisting the pain at the pump is temporary.
The gas will go down. As soon as the war's over, it'll drop like a rock.
The United Nations Secretary General warned of the, quote, the specter of global recession if conflict doesn't end soon.
We are taking a live look out in Washington, D.C., where the House has unanimously approved a Senate-passed bill to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security. President Trump signed the measure, which ended the 76-day shutdown that left vital agencies, including the TSA, struggling to maintain operations as funding ran dry.